Yeah, welcome guys. Welcome to the another video. In this video, we are going to talk about the fifth question from the challenge. That is a staircase. This question is similar to Java print patterns, we might have studied earlier also. Like it is similar to the Java pattern in which we used to print basically the triangles of stars or hashes like this. So here we can say it is similar to this. So to basically to print this pattern, there's a logic behind it, and I'm going to discuss that logic with this blackboard, I'm sorry. So here, as we can see, we have to print like in the question given. Like let's take this example. So we have a input 6, and for this 6 we have to print 6 rows, 1 2 3 4 5 and 6. And in these 6 rows, starting from first row, we have to print like 1 hash in the first, second, then 3 hashes, then 4 hashes, then 5 hashes, then 6 hashes. So it is like this. So let's go to this. Okay, so let us take one 6 by 6 box and then understand this. So 1 2 3 4 5 6, and then here also 6, 1 2 3 4 5 and 6. Okay, so this is row number 0 1 2 3 4 5, 0 1 2 3 4 5. So for first row we have 1 hash here, then for the second we have 2 hashes, then third we have 3, fourth we have 4, then fifth we have 5, sixth we have all these 6. These are basically indices, that's why, because we have started from 0, so these 6 row, it is like basically similar to the indexes of the array indices. So in the first row we can see there's 1 hash, then second 2 3 like this, but we also need to print something before this, right? So these we can call it spaces. So if I say there are 5 spaces have to be printed first, then 1 hash in order to complete the first row. Then for the next one, in the next row there are basically 1 lesser space, then again 1 lesser space like this. So there are actually, for us to print this pattern, it's a basically a combination of these two. Like we have to print space first, like this triangle we have to form, then we have to print this. So how can we do this? First let's talk about the spaces. So for spaces we can clearly see we have 5, then 4, then 3, then 2, then 1, then at last we don't print anything, we have 0 spaces. This is about space. For hashes, this hash, we have starting from 1 2 3 4 5 and then 6. These are my hash. So for us to do this space, we will have to write some logic which will follow, like there be clearly we can see for forming these type of arrays, since this is a 2-dimensional figure, we need to have 2 loops running, like 2D. So for outer loop we will be covering like changing the rows, we will be moving from one row to another, and for the inner loop we will be printing these things. So inner loop will contain what? For one row we have to print one like this space, then followed by this hash. So space and then hash, space and then hash, it's a combination of these two. So inner loop, there will be 2 inner loops, first will be for space and second one will be for hashes, right? So it's pretty obvious like we can achieve this through doing some logic thing. Let's go in the code and understand that there itself. So yeah, let's go and code this. So we can start coding here. So we can write like we'll be running two loops, that's for sure. For int I equals to 0 and I should be less than and n, then I plus plus, then this inner loop I'll be first printing space, then followed by hash. So first will be for space. So for int j equals to 0, j less than n, and j plus plus, right? So this will be for space printing. So how are we actually going to print this space? So let's think about it. First, for n, when n was 6, we were printing 5 spaces, right? So this loop has to run for 5 times at the beginning. How can we achieve that? We can start something like this. If we start from I plus 1, let's say, so for the first one, it is actually going to run for 5 number of times, right? And then for the next 4, and at last it will run for 0 number of times, right? We can achieve this. So if we do just this change, we can achieve this space printing thing, right? So let's print that space, system dot out dot print, and we have to print the spaces. And yeah, this was for a space. Now we have for in the same row, like I is basically talking, I is here, the row here. If we go into the picture again, I is basically representing this, and this is the j part, right? So there will be 2 j columns, one for this and one for this, right? For every row, one for this, another for this. So we are doing the same thing. So for before moving to the next type, we have to print hash also. So we'll print that int j. We'll see where do we start. So let's think that. So for in this picture, we can see first it has 1 hash, and at last for the 6th row it has 6. So how can we achieve this? So for first we have to run it for 1 number of times, so, and then 2 number of times, like this. So it will keep on increasing, right? So we can write like this, j less than equals to I, right? We are able to achieve this, like j has started from 0, then it goes to I. So I is 0, so it will run for 1 time, then at last it will run from 0 to till I can go till n minus 1, that is 5. So 0 till 5, so 5 times, sorry, 6 times. 0 1 2 3 4 5, 6 times, j plus plus. Now we will print this hash thing. We can print this hash, yeah. And so after we have completed the space printing and this hash printing, now we can move to the next line, and hence we will put one println system.out.print, and this is simply changing the line. Before we move next, we need to next line to be completed, right? Yeah, so we will be changing the line. Okay, looks good. Let's run. We can see for 6 it is running, submitted. Yes. Okay guys, so we have completed this question. We'll be moving to the next question in the next video. And one thing I want to request from you guys, so if you enjoy this content, like if you want like any kind of message to drop, you can drop in the comment section of this video. And please like, share and subscribe if you find this video helpful, and help others. Thank you.